Hello there everybody, Oimon here, and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. When we last left off, we were pretty much at the end of the DLC. We stopped the evil volcano looking thing over there in the distance, lost one of our allies unfortunately, although I kind of figured somebody was going to die. And so now we gotta head into here and speak to, what was her name? Cyan? The apparently good AI, the only one we've run into so far. And hopefully sort out the problem. Because from what I could understand, she was essentially in control of machines that were guarding the Yellowstone supervolcano and preventing it from blowing up. I don't know if it's a thing of it was going to blow up and they stopped it, or it was just a general preventative to make absolutely certain it could never blow up ever. Either way, amazing and terrifying together. Now, I did say sort of between episodes I tried to do a few things. I never got around to it. Just been busy over the last few days and other various things. So that's not an issue. But if I have the time, maybe I'll get around to it at some point. Or maybe I'll just leave it dangling. I don't know. I don't care at this point. Let's get this over with. Right. Hello.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
Ooh, we're actually gonna get to talk to her. Cool.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
That's nice.
This firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Well, I mean, 3.5 centuries? That's enough time for things to hopefully go back to normal and for people to come up with a plan B. C, D, E, whatever the hell we're on.
Do you know what happened to your colleague, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Thank you.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly,
Ooh. So, Hephaestus is like... What was the name of... Hades? Or maybe they're both the same.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Rhea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
What do you think Hephaestus is exactly?
A software entity of great complexity, far more advanced than I am. From the beginning, it has demonstrated a singular focus: the construction of machines designed to hunt and kill humans. My trace routes indicate that to accomplish this goal, it has attempted to take over the manufacturing centers you refer to as cauldrons. But its efforts have only been partially successful. Some it can penetrate. Others have robust countermeasures that frustrate its efforts. In me, however, it found an easier target. Not only could it break my defenses, I also controlled all of Firebreak's resources. Raw material, manufacturing to bootstrap more advanced tools, and unlimited geothermal energy.
Enough to build its own cauldron.
Yes, to construct hunter-killers without external limitations. And yet, it does have internal limitations. It wants to kill humans, but not to exterminate them. It is difficult to understand where it draws the line and why.
difficult doesn't even begin to cover it.
Even though I spent years as its unwilling servitor, its core programming remains a mystery to me.
Interesting. So assuming that Hades is also like an AI, Hades is the AI behind the original machine thing and the corruption, and so Hephaestus is something else. So I guess we've got like multiple AIs running around with their own schemes in weird kind of ways, I'm assuming. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe Hephaestus and Hades are like one and the same.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined.
That's true. I did wonder if maybe that's the way it was going, that it would be Cyan who would have to, you know, die in order for, you know, the demon, the Hephaestus as we now call it. Fair enough.
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Ooh.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Araya's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan.
That's true.
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh's servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
Fair enough.
There's a ruin east of here full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dr. Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Very true.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. robots, war robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one.
Yeah, he was the guy who basically built the machines that took over the world and led to the situation that we're currently in. Good for him. But yeah, that was the thing. It's like his business was originally based around, like, you know, reversing global warming, sorting out climate problems, and, you know, stabilizing the planet. And then, like, as that sort of stuff ran out, he transitioned over to military stuff because that's where the big bucks are, you know.
And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point, a concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
Well, okay then.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
Got to tell them the truth, use your judgment, take it gently.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
It would. Because at heart, you want to be honest, right?
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak.
Ooh.
See how he's
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep. Wake up. And protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
That's very sad. Hello, Aratak.
My chieftain,
Just, Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
She's accomplished. You didn't let her down.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find even for a moment the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
What do you think Hephaestus is, Silence?
I'm not sure. But its name comes from a language even the old ones considered ancient, as does the name Hades. A connection, perhaps, as yet unglimpsed. Whatever they are, they're still out there, and they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so we did get an errand out of the forge. Kill 5 fire claws. Do I want to bother with that? I mean, they're fire claws, they're kind of annoying. We did get another audio thing there. Missed a couple, but I'm not trying to get all of those. We got a skill point out of all that though, so that's quite something. Yeah. Only 3 on the map. Oh no, stand corrected. Another one there. So, yeah. Looks like a bunch of fire claws got out and I gotta kill 5 of them. Yay. Oh well. Might as well. Maybe I'll just kill a couple and we'll see where we go from there. We'll see how long it takes me to deal with one of them. If it ends up being doable, fine. If not, I don't think I'll bother. Right.
Very cold. I get it.
Quit your whining. Guess we'll also see if the thing's alone. That's the thing we fought as the boss, isn't it? Man, why did you have to be with others? Alright, what do we got? Let's see. I'm very surprised I managed to get him so easily without you really even noticing. Oh, that did almost nothing. Okay, definitely. Fine. Oh, crap, didn't see that happening. Okay, that happened. We're very good at that. That's a lot of fireballs. Things have to... Whoa, you went up the hill a bit, didn't you? Oh, really? Come on. Oh. Damn it. Honestly, the critical strikes don't actually do a huge amount of damage. Oh, god damn it. I cannot hit any of these. be the best thing to do to actually destroy them up there. Damn it, stop that. Stop it. Come on. Let's try a little cold, shall we? That was more annoying than I'd have liked. It took me like 20 minutes. Probably should have froze him earlier. Oh well.
These will keep.
Okay, well, you know what? I think I'll save the rest for another time, say, you know, between episodes. I can't be arsed to do all that. That would take way too long. Alright, what else have we got? Let's go back to the main storyline, shall we? Because it's been a long bleeding time since I did anything like this. So let's go here. Ugh. Alright. Guess we're going this way.
Aloy, you're very close now.
I was wondering when you'd speak up.
There's a sheer rock wall just ahead. Look close, and you'll find handholds leading up.
Oh, really? And who put those there, Right. Why would I expect an answer? It's so much more exciting to keep it all a mystery.
Alright, okay. So, what have we got a lot of and what don't we need? Well, we don't need that. Don't need that. 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 Two of those, Ooh, that's a lot of them. Alright, what else we got? Nothing there, nothing there. Get rid of some of the mods. Anything that's not purple is not necessary at this point. I've just got so many of all of them. All right, excellent.
Crash the Eclipse focus network, he said. So how are we gonna do that? Oh, wait, I forgot. We won't. I do all dangerous stuff. You just listen
in. Let's see what we've got, shall we? Because I remember sort of wandering off in this vague direction originally, back when I was exploring, but obviously there wasn't a lot to see. Looks like there is now.
There are the handholds, right where you said they'd be. Did you get that, Silence? No? Fitting name you got there. Alright, what now?
You wait, that's what. Take a seat at the campfire and rest. When night falls, we'll talk.
They still have a fire to keep me company. How nice of you to finally drop by.
Our purpose this night is to crash the focus network.
Yeah, tell me the part I don't know. How?
For starters, you'll need to infiltrate the Eclipse's main base.
Wait, what?
That's right. Fortunately for you, I brought you round to the back way. It's right through that crevice. Once you reach the base, you'll see the objective. A derelict tall neck that's been extensively modified. Climb the tall neck. Grafted into the top of its disk, you'll find a module of sorts. Destroy that, and the focus network will crash.
So you were part of the Eclipse?
I've never been part of anything. I serve my own interests, always. But it is the case that I assisted the Eclipse before I sensed the threat they might become. It was a mistake that I'm doing what I can to correct.
What sort of assistance did you give them?
Head through that crevice, Aloy. You have more important things to do than ask questions.
Going through here, huh? It's a random place to find their main base, but
Through
okay.
here. Corrupted machines. Patrolling like guards.
More like soldiers. Held in reserve for a war yet to come. You'll have to get past them.
This is the easy way in?
The back way. I didn't say it'd be easy.
Alright. Why do I keep hearing explosions?
Trees are thick. Hard to line up a shot.
That's fine. We'll do it the stealthy way. I'm good at the stealthy way. Nothing to see here, dude. Yep, totally nothing to see. Apparently all the robots are
That
idiots.
was worth it.
What do we got? We got a long leg. We got a watcher. And that's it. That's all that's left, huh?
Never know when I might need these.
Always. Close. Closer than I'd like, but hey, I got it. Be very curious to know what the hell all those explosions are. That'll do it. Alright. Yep, looks like we're going up this way. Alright, let's see what we got.
Explosions in the distance.
Pay that no mind. Doesn't concern you.
Hey, no mind, he says. Machine got scrapper. What a scrapper. Several scrappers by the look of it. Nothing serious. Nothing I can't handle with a few stealth takedowns. Certainly nothing I haven't handled before. Compared to some of the things I have done doing this, it's almost easy. Almost. Let's not get too blasé about it. Oh, never mind. Oh crap. Alright, fine. We'll do it this way then. Fortunately, I'm pretty strong. Not an issue. Hey, and I leveled up too. How about that? That nets me another 3 points. Yay. Apparently there was also all of the frozen wild ones. Does that mean that these are just the frozen wild ones, or it's possible? Actually, that does kind of make a certain kind of sense, because usually in games like this, if you're going to have different skill trees, it's usually they're all equal sized. So I suppose this is like a DLC one, I guess. That's the frozen wild one, so it's just all this stuff. All stuff related to your mount. Huh. That's interesting that they all sort of relegated all that stuff off to there. Oh well. I guess at first they didn't think the mounts were going to be too important, but then people really liked them, so...
The tall neck's just over this ridge. You'll see it when you reach the top. Now be ready to act fast. You need to get in and get it done before they raise an alarm.
You getting this? I see the legs of a tall neck down there, but no tall neck.
Damn. The transmitter's been moved. Check down the ravine to the left. Only place it could be.
So much for your insider knowledge. Toward the explosions. Great.
You got exactly one shot at this, Aloy, so spare the sarcasm and make it count. You see that bridge over the ravine?
Yep.
Memorize its location. There's a rappel point on the side. That'll be your way out.
And these Eclipse troopers?
Avoid them or kill them, your choice. The blasting should cover any noise you make. Find the tall neck and destroy the module on top.
Here we go.
It's not to be working with hits in them. All crime. I'm gonna check that out.
to start. Alright, what we got? Few people, bosses over there.
Last all day, all night, can't sleep, can't think.
So let's see what we can get.
I think. Not sure. When we take back Meridian, leave the revenge killings to the take it back.
What the heck is with the explosions? Are they testing some sort of new weapon there or something? Probably. Okay. Ooh, I missed someone apparently.
The more we dig for ancient machines, the stronger we grow. Our time is coming soon. What the shadow means for the father. It helps the priests
From what I can tell, doesn't appear to be an easy way across the gap. I think I have to wait for this guy and wait for him to turn around.
was around. What's he been up to?
Nope. Holes. That's not good. Nope, there was a second person there. Great. Come on. Oh, actually, I think we're gonna have to pause for now. It's just gone 4 o'clock, but I think we can take these guys, even if I get seen. Shouldn't be an issue, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyway, back in a minute, guys. And we're back. Alright. Let's see if we can pull this off without too much problem.
Come out of the shadows.
Well, you would have liked that. Way do you face that way?
Every time they set off another broadcast, my ears ring.
Doesn't seem like there's much in the way of hiding places around here, which is a bit of a problem.
The herds will be in the shadow. They will trample anyone who fights against us.
Well, there's another one. Now, how are we going to get you without it being very, very, very annoying?
up ahead?
No. It's a mining operation. So long as you're quick, it won't affect you.
Oh good, another secret.
Okay, looks like we've also got a lot of lore
What is this
stuff here.
place?
A distraction.
There are several data points.
When sleep refuses to come, I think of our wedding night. How you welcomed me to the marital bed. How after, when you fell asleep, I lay there watching your delicate face. For all its beauty, I detested its fragility. A rage swelled up inside me. I abhorred that bed, how its softness threatened to swallow us up. And that room, the stench of incense, the fine embroidery of the drapes, all of it weak. I slipped from the bed, threw open the casement, and lay naked on the stone floor, determined to spurn all seductions of comfort. But when I woke the next morning, you lay beside me, naked as I in the cold. Your body, stretched beside mine, seemed chiseled from stone. I saw you wake, instantly alert, like an animal ready to strike. You said nothing. You did not have to. Already you had shown me beyond doubt that we were meant to be.
Interesting.
Never does the sun show pity. And yet, when my wife died in birthing, and in dying ended the life of my child unborn, I pitied myself. My lord sensed this, but instead of casting me down for weakness, he cast upon me a radiant beam of honor. He ordered my kin buried in the sacred caves reserved for royals and heroes. Unimaginable. Never again would I doubt that I am the chosen of the sun. Never again would pity find a place in me. Not for myself or another.
Why don't they just sound just fun?
When I first set eyes on the buried shadow, I trembled. Was I not the chosen of the sun? A blazing light of faith to shred and scatter darkness? Was it not my place to destroy this devil? But High Priest Bahavas instructed me in the prophecy and set right my frame of mind. The murder of the true Sun King broke the cosmic cycle short of completion. A whole world cast into darkness, doomed. To resume and turn the wheel of time would require more than sun and faith. All forces must combine, all halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, night to day. Even a buried shadow wants the wheel to turn, for without a sun in the sky, there can be no shadow. My lord, the 13th king of the Karja Sundom was murdered, cut down by cowards who mistook firm rule for madness. Ever the strong are beset upon by the weak. So he said, as the traitors launched their assault, as their cannons forged by Oseram filth toppled the battlements and burst the gates. I would have fought to the end, but it was his will, the will of the sun, that I lead the prince and queen into the west, to safety. My lord did not hesitate. He saw his fate. He looked into the sun, and he did not blink. With me, he sent kestrels, nobles, sun priests, and slaves. Killing all that stood in the way, I carved a path to sunfall. There, we joined others to gather the strength to take back our home. But our strength only faded until the buried shadow was brought to light. Every morning, I wake to the same nightmare, the same reality. Holy Meridian, an the hands of profligates, debased. The spire, towering above the horizon like a glittering spike through the center of my mind. Every daybreak in exile is a mark of failure, but the count of days runs thin. I will see Meridian retaken, the profligates slaughtered, a true king restored to the Mesa throne. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. So long as King Itamen languishes at sunfall, coddled by his mother, he will never learn the true lessons of the sun. I have tried to instruct him, but the shadow of his mother's influence is upon him. I took him to the palace balcony to behold an offering of sacrifice in the ring, but he showed no thirst for it. He averted his gaze. Look to the sun, I told him. Do not shield your eyes. In all things, it is absolute. One day, it nurtures life, and the next, scorches life away. It burns the skin of champions and wretches alike. Never does the sun show pity. That is the example a Sun King must follow. The example of your father. But before my instruction could take hold, she was there, clutching him to her robes, burying his face against her breast. How is a king to rule when he cannot even see?
What's all this? Ooh, ceremonial armor, huh? Can I take this?
Armor. There's only one man big enough to wear this. Helis. This is his shelter. Not exactly fancy.
What did you expect of a fanatic? His only extravagance is his brutality. Just enough to want to stop him.
Alert. Irregular transmission source near.
I thought I was heading for... I thought I was heading for this. Or is this going to be my exit?
The rappel point. It'll get me out of here, but first I need to crash the network.
Oh, that's the exit. Ah, right. That makes a bit more sense.
He's a fanatic, all right. Single-minded.
It gives him a focus that you seem to lack. Now how about finding that tall neck?
It would not have been easy to drag the tall neck down his path. Why bother?
Just find it and get to the top. Destroy the module and then get out fast as you can.
Sure is a lot of blasting up there. Sounds busy.
Busy enough not to notice you, let's hope.
I see it. They've built some kind of structure around it.
Climb it. The sooner this is done, the better.
I don't like this. It feels wrong.
Everything here is wrong. Just get to the module and destroy it.
Is this a trap? This feels like a trap.
I see the module.
Good. Now be quick.
This is Hades?
Aloy, this is not the time.
It's a metal devil.
Open the module's casing, now. Aloy, do as I say or all is lost.
Entity has come here. Entity miscalculated. Entity cannot destroy me. I am beyond its reach.
Maybe you are. But this isn't!
Destroy the entity.
Keep running!
Alright, I'm running.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap?
Oh, that's a lot. Where am I going? I didn't see where I was going. It said run. I was running. It didn't say anything about climbing or shimmying.
Keep moving or you'll die.
Yeah, you think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap? Almost out of it. Come on.
Get sight. Run.
Are you kidding me?
Head left.
Got it. Almost there.
The whole base is on high alert.
Yeah, I noticed.
Keep moving! Eclipse across the ravine.
Bridge in sight.
That's the way out.
I know.
Oof. Well, that didn't go exactly as planned. I did have this vague feeling of maybe this is a trap running around the back of my head, but it wasn't until I saw the tall neck exactly where it was that I thought, yeah, this is a trap. This is definitely a trap. That giant ass headdress she's got.
Rough going, but you survived.
You knew Hades was there and you sent me to him?
I won't deny I risked your life, but it was the only way. Now, with the focus network down, we can both get what we want. Access to the secrets of Zero Dawn.
I'm past trusting you with secrets.
Good. That means you're wising up. Trust is for fools. It shifts and crumbles like sand. A poor foundation for any partnership. But mutual self-interest, now that is a solid bedrock upon which you and I might build a new science of understanding. We both need answers, Aloy. And thanks to you, we're on the verge of grasping them. Let's unfold. We'll speak again.
You miserable... Damn him. If I could toss this focus and be rid of you, Silence, I would. But we both know I need it. Sunfall it is. And Zero Dawn.
Hopefully. It'd be nice to find out what Zero Dawn actually is. Because as I said, I kind of figured it was like global EMP network kind of thing. You know, literally just pressing the reset button. But I don't know. Could be anything. Okay, so Sunfall, which I've been to before because it's an interesting place.
Sunfall. The Mad King Duran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
It is amazing how many times they've dropped the term Forbidden West in this.
It won't bring us home any faster.
Alright, let's have a quick word with you. See if there's anything. Didn't pick up too much while doing that, but I probably picked up some things. Mostly sellables, I'd imagine. If anything at all. Or not. Oh well, never mind.
You're among the faithful. Show some respect.
Do I have to? Am I even going to be allowed up here?
Now we get to see if your attack on their focus network was entirely successful.
What are you talking about? Did I crash the network or not?
Success. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment. In the meantime, circulate.
Fair enough.
One day closer to going home.
I'd probably be a little less suspicious if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, it's very, very, very early in the morning. And there's no one around.
If he can't stay true, what hope is there for the rest of us?
Okay, let's see what we got.
At least it's not as bad as Meridian.
Looks like, yeah, over there.
I heard Obahavas is hiring cutthroats to weed out enemies.
Outlanders! If you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here. Filthy mercer.
Even if it means having I hear the shadow coming.
That reminds me, actually, I haven't checked the treasure boxes. I'm sure it'll all be fine. Nope. Oh yeah, all the data points. And one skill point. I only need 2 left. Well, 2 to max everything out. Yes, I am just sort of wandering at the moment.
I don't think that woman was old enough to catch her death.
What are you waiting around for, Outlander?
You can at least
Bounties are announced inside.
Bounties, huh? Am I going to be on that list, I wonder? Probably. I'm going to have to deal with mercenaries running around and attacking me.
So at least I'm safe.
By the glory of the sun revealed. Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King. The light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law.
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
By the will of radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think?
provoked the ire of
Love
the
your
sun in
hair.
full blaze. Not only did the wretch conspire to
You and I need to
infiltrate
chat,
the Citadel
little huntress.
and assassinate
The green
one
tent
true
down
king,
in Shadowside.
but he refused
I'll
to
be waiting.
surrender when discovered
Kinda busy.
and fled. And in doing so, demonstrated wanton disregard for the
We
safety
both know
of
you're
the
no killer for
king's
hire.
subjects.
Uthid is innocent. So come see me
Forth then,
while there's still time to save him.
do the will of the sun.
So, the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the sun ring.
Ooh, so we got a little side quest. Oh, he's not going to be happy about me taking this one on, is he?
Waiting to come home.
Oh, the Kestrels.
Ah, they
You're not
want us to
staying long,
see
I
this,
assume.
boy. It makes quite an impression.
So yeah, obviously he's a little too young to really be ruling things, so the other guy's ruling him instead, and he's not doing a very good job of it.
Be pretty uneasy.
Let's say we see if we can shake things up a little bit.
But perhaps they're
That's always good for a laugh.
As to the ceasefire, perhaps we need a respite from violence, even if it is.
I should have been a crafter.
I hear folks keep disappearing in the night. Deserted.
Green tent.
The food is from Dowager Queen Nasadi, little ones. Her Highness knows times are hard and helps when she can. Eat, but bring some home for your families, if you have one. I've heard whispers about you. Rides machines, fancy spear, delightful freckles. Some even say you have a conscience. How extraordinary.
Who are you? You're obviously not one of the Shadow Karja.
My name is Vanasha. For now, all you need to know is that I'm a whisper of reason in this howling pit of insanity.
I know how that feels.
I'm sure you do. And so does Uthid. He's a good man, so naturally the Shadow Karja want to murder him. I've done some digging, and I think he's headed for the Green Climb. It won't take those mercenaries long to find him. He could use some help, if you're so inclined.
Stop being evasive and tell me who you really are.
Stop being evasive? You might as well tell me to stop being charming. It's impossible, but I like you, so I'll tell you a secret. I have friends in Meridian, and I like to do favors for them when I can. Uthid might be of use to them, if he survives.
How do you know Uthid is innocent?
I'm excellent at making inquiries. Look, he feeds orphans from his own rations and personally punishes anyone who hurts the old or infirm. The idea that he would try to kill Edelman is ridiculous. He must have found something that can embarrass the priesthood. Otherwise, Bahavas wouldn't risk marking such a well-regarded man for death.
Makes sense.
What makes you think he's on the Green Climb?
He knows he'll be pursued, so he needs a hideout that's both familiar and defensible. He once single-handedly held off an entire bandit clan in those foothills. My guess is that he'll fall back on what worked before.
Also makes sense. Okay.
I'll do what I can for Uthid. But what about you?
What about me what?
What will you do while I risk my life?
Useful things, little huntress. Look for 3 dead trees south of Sunfall. They mark the start of the Green Climb. Good luck.
3 dead trees south of Sunfall. That's not south.
The ceasefire? It's a nice idea. What's the point?
I think if there was actually like 3 dead trees somewhere over here, but never mind. 3 dead trees south of Sunfall, it says. That's not south. By any stretch is that south. That is east. That is very, very east. Three dead trees.
3 dead trees. Just like Banasha said. Let's see if Uthid came through. These tracks lead up that rise. Must be the green climb.
Yoink. Climbing it is. I guess they call it the green climb for a reason. Well done. Have I been up this way before? Nah, probably not. Alright, let's see what we got.
Alright, made it. Where did you go, Uthid? Food scraps. I'll bet Uthid stopped to see if he was being followed. Food scraps. I'll bet Uthid stopped to see if he was being followed.
So where's the rest of the tracks? Don't see any down here. Oh, I've got to actually look at
He
stuff.
must have kept going. I've got to catch up.
Right, okay. I was like, wait, where's the rest of the track? There we go.
A dead machine. Uthid's been hunting. Everything useful has been stripped. Uthid's been gathering components. Probably for now. Corn talks. Looking to scavenge.
Oh, I actually have to kill them, do I? Why do I actually have to kill them? I don't want to kill them. That worked. It'll do anyway. Alright.
It took down a Ravager. Not an easy kill, but worth it for the parts.
Came down here, came down here.
Dead Watchers. More scrap for Uthid's stockpile.
The next one doesn't miss.
Uthid?
You're young for a bounty hunter. Or am I old for a soldier?
I'm not here for the price on your head, Uthid. I believe you're innocent.
Innocent? Come on, then. If this is a trick, it's a good one. You've earned your kill.
No tricks. Just talk.
All right. Speak.
I want to know what happened at Sunfall. What really happened.
All right. For weeks, each dawn in the tent city came with a new death. Always in their sleep, no struggle. The old, the infirm, sometimes the young. Those who couldn't fight for the cause. I should have realized then it was a culling.
Who would do such a thing?
They thought it was a curse, an evil spirit. But it was only a man. And a silent poison. It took time to catch him, but we did. We brought him before Bahavas for the sun's judgment.
The High Priest Bahavas? He's the one who put the bounty on you.
Yes. He thanked me for my diligence, then had his guards release the villain. You see? It was he who ordered the culling. Then they turned on us. Should have died with my men, so their loyalty meant something. 20 years I gave to the sun. For what? Malice and murder? As for honor, sacrifice, true sacrifice, the kind priests and rulers know nothing of? It's all a fat joke.
If it's honor you seek, the Sun Karjas seem trustworthy. A little stuck up, maybe, but trustworthy.
Those Karja once raided your Nora lands. Raided every land we could reach. It was the Sun's will. I did what I was told. Others did worse. But as their captain, I had...
Uthid, I don't care what you did. I can't absolve you. But the Karja are changing their ways. You could too.
Perhaps. Avad doesn't understand what the Sun demands of its soldiers.
Perhaps he understands it too well.
Now you sound like the blameless Murad.
I can believe you're a good man. But why go with the Shadow Karja in the first place? Why serve them?
Because of Itaman, of course. He was the one true Sun King.
Itaman's just a child.
Yes, an untainted vessel. I believed he was pure. But they used him. Used our faith. I can see that now. No shadows under a noonday sun. Bahavas didn't need to disgrace my name. I did it myself, serving a rotten throne.
I met someone who wants to get you out of this. A woman named Vanasha. But first, we need to get you out of here.
What are you? You look like a hunter. You give orders like a soldier who's been out... Mercenaries. Think they'll all line up to tell me I'm innocent?
Should have stayed on the plains, Karja! The mountains belong to us! Keycook's killers! When we're done with you, you won't even leave an echo!
You didn't make it hard to be followed. Almost as if you wanted to go out in a showdown.
Not much gets by you.
To me, you chuffs!
It's a bloody rout!
No, you're just really, really, really bad. Hold still.
Move in! We'll send the rest as soon as they arrive.
Come on. Gotcha.
Regroup, Large. Regroup.
Blazes at our backs.
Keep up the attack. We still got another squad on the way.
For the honor of the culture. For my honor.
Not that hard, really.
It's up to you now, man. Rally. We can still finish them.
I don't think you should bother. Woo, okay, that's a thing. Whoa. Alright, come and get it, you git.
That will be the last. Follow me. I've stashed supplies up above.
Sounds good to me. Alright, let's just harvest some stuff. Alright, let's go.
It's heavy. World's going wide.
Up and over. Grab what you can while we still have time.
All right.
A robust defense is the most satisfying to break. All right, Marvels. We brought the priest out here, so let's put on a show for him.
I know that, Hood. We've unfinished business, Bahavas and I. This will be difficult. I think you rallied to a lost cause.
I don't intend to die today, Euthid.
I did. But you're starting to change my mind.
Okay. Kind of curious because, yes, I saw this. Disc launcher.
Look out! To your left! My marbles rise on an earth. Step it up, boys! Press the attack.
Come on, man, you kids. What the?
We're getting picked off.
you guys can really bugger off. That'll do it.
For justice! If any remains.
Alright. Wham. Last one, you. Come on, show me your smiling little face.
That's the last of the marvels.
Bahavas thought he had enough fodder to keep him safe. Now there's hope for justice. Will you come with me?
Yeah, sure. Let me just do a little bit of looting. Top up my meds. Alright, up we go. Do wonder if this guy's going to end up dead at the end of this. Probably, but maybe we can take out, what's his name, Bahavas? Maybe it'll make things better in Sunfall, but probably not.
This won't be easy. Bahavas still has his personal guard.
I think we can take him.
Got too much already.
Sometimes you want to collect everything.
Across there and we'll have him.
Or, you know, we'll fall right into his trap.
I had to come here myself to end your suffering, Uthid, and mine. The Outlanders led us here, and now that they are dead, their price is most affordable. But enough with needles. It's time for blades. Remove them from the sun's sight.
Well, okay then.
The sun sets on your pathetic life, Uthid. For the faithful! Victory! O sun, shine upon us! Kill the traitor! Kill Nora! Sun's judgment upon you!
Good enough. Yeah, not that tough, really. He's probably gone. Like, as in, he's probably run away. People like him never stay behind to actually, you know, clean up the mess. They tend to just run for it as soon as they can. For obvious reasons.
Whatever deal you worked out with him, I'll double it. More than double it.
No. I'm tired of this, Bahavas. The lies and the violence in your cheap scented oils. I don't suppose you kill yourself.
I had to. I had to. Prune the weak, or all the Karja in Shadow are doomed.
This solves nothing. But may the sun find some worth among your drying bones.
That was quite a fireworks show.
You took your time?
I was busy. What do you think happened to Yan Shund, the other mercenary band? And I had to organize passage to Meridian for a wanted man. Give us a moment, Uthid. Girl talk. You've had quite a day. I never imagined Bahavas would blunder into his own trap. His death opens up wonderful possibilities. Remember Edaman and Nasadi, the Child King and his mother guarded like hostages at Sunfall? With Bahavas gone, no one will be watching them. I want to get them out. And I could use your help.
Interesting.
Kidnapping the Sun King of the Shadow Karja is no small task.
It's not kidnapping. They want to go to Meridian, to safety.
How do you know that?
I've been posing as Nasadi's handmaiden. She's scared. For herself, of course, but mostly for Edaman.
Why do you care what happens to them?
Edaman is the Shadow Karja's figurehead. If he defects, it will remove their last trace of legitimacy. Beyond that, he's just a boy who clings to his mommy. He made a little grazer for me out of matchsticks once. It wasn't very good, but still, nobody ever made anything for me before.
What's going to happen to Uthid now?
Don't worry. You gave him a second life, and I'll put it to good use. He'll be welcomed in Meridian as a military advisor. Hopefully he can help Avad finish the Shadow Karja with as little bloodshed as possible.
That'd be nice.
What's going to happen at Sunfall now that Bahavas is dead?
Oh, it will be glorious. The priests will panic. There'll be infighting, skullduggery, and backstabbing as they wrangle for power. Best of all, they'll be distracted. Bahavas, your life brought misery, but your death is a flower that blooms in abundance.
Fair enough.
What do you need to get Nasadi and Edaman out of Sunfall?
With Bahavas dead, Sunfall is the easy part. I'll handle that. The big fuss will be crossing the border to the Sundom. Find my friend, 3 Tohuadiv near the branded shore. I hired his crew to sweep the path, so all you have to do is wait for me.
If this Wadiv has already cleared the area, why do you need me?
Contingencies, little huntress. Something will go wrong, and I need protection I can count on. You.
I'll try not to disappoint.
Neat. So yeah, we're sort of
Nora
just
said you would help
tearing
me.
down the Shadow Karja.
Are we bound for Meridian?
Only if you want to go, my dear.
What choice do I have?
None at all. I was just being polite.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Ooh, there, huh? Random place to be, but fair enough. I do wonder if we're going to have to break into here, perhaps. Possible. Or it's more likely that we're going to be going down this road to here, and then they'll like take the river across to there, and that'll get them to safety. That would be my guess of the route we're going to be taking, but we'll see.
Rain left the trees wet and shivering.
Save. And say hi.
You're 3 Tohuadiv, right? Vanasha sent me. What happened?
I got hornswoggled, that's what. Vanasha batted her lashes, wiggled her hips, and promised us treasure. Clear a path for the royals, she said. Sneak past the garrison and skewer a few watches. Hardly a bother. Little did we know there was a damned monstrosity lurking underground. When will I learn not to gawk at skinny girls?
Why do you think Vanasha swindled you?
My crew came to Sunfall because we heard the bounties were fat. She offered us the fattest one of all, enough to retire on. It's my own damned fault for taking the bait. Should have known I'd end up with a rupture in my useful parts.
Ew.
So Vanasha needed safe passage for Nasadi and Edaman, but it didn't work out?
She made it sound so sweet and easy. Find the best path to the lake, make sure it's safe. What could go wrong? Turns out, a lot. Like bloody murder in the grinding jaws of a heinous death beast.
Something attacked you from underground.
Oh, you picked that up, did you? I wondered why the Shadow Kaja didn't pay attention to the pass. Well, they don't need to. A rock-eating demon guards it for them. It tunnels in the dirt, breaks through the earth, and blasts rocks from its stinking face. I barely escaped. My comrades weren't so lucky. I might shed a tear if they weren't all cutthroats and cheaters.
Okay.
Vanasha will be here soon with Nasadi and Idaman. I've got to destroy that thing in the past before they arrive.
You're not too bright, are you? Well, we didn't last long against it, but I'll tell you what I know. It has armor everywhere, a little less at the rear. And when it goes underground, it will lose track of you if you're quiet. You might even be able to keep it from going under altogether if you hit its big crooked arms hard enough. That's all I can offer, friend. I promise to look solemn at your funeral before I hit the bar.
Great. Looks like we've got a what is it they call them? Is it rock breakers? No, what is it? Ooh, hello. Random place to find this. Do your part. You have to do your part for Zero Dawn song one more time, so I'm going to stab out my eardrums for the melody can fester in my ear canals. It is not inspiring, it is not stirring. It is dreck that makes you want to kill myself before the robots even get a chance. Fair enough. Couldn't the apocalypse have a decent soundtrack? That would be nice. You always want a decent soundtrack. Alright, so it looks like we got a rock breaker. But it's gone 5 o'clock, so we're going to take a quick little break. And hopefully we'll be able to deal with the... Is it the rock breaker? I forget exactly what they're called. Hopefully we'll have to deal with it when I get back. See you in a minute, guys. Okay, now we're back. Let's go deal with the rock breaker. Whoa, hello, he's already here. Where am I? Where am I? I looked the camera got stuck in the guy. Come on. Can I pop out? Right. See, you shouldn't be able to get me when I'm on top of a giant rock. What are you doing? Ooh, that worked. I'm just gonna pop back out because I'm dead. Ah, easy.
Not bad.
Wow, you guys really didn't do very well down here, did you? Well, okay. Fair enough. Grab all them, and there we go. I'm assuming I gotta, yeah, get back up. Talk to the guy. Not a problem. I hope.
Leave it to me.
By the radiant sun, I can't believe it. I thought that evil rock chewer would grind you up. After that miracle, all we can do is wait. Vanasha will be here soon, along with a boat that'll take the royals across the lake.
Let's hope so.
Ah, little huntress. Glad you accepted my invitation to play bodyguard. Where are your manhood, Eve? It looks like something chewed you up and spat you out.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
The way is clear. Can we go?
I like how you always cut to the chase. In this case, literally. It won't be long before we're followed. Don't be afraid, Your Radiance. We've got excellent protection.
Are we actually going to have to do something about this, or is this just a case of cutscening it? Ooh, this might be a case of something's going to have to happen.
Oh dear, here come the Shadow Carter, and they're very angry with me.
I'll hold them off.
Very noble of you, but when I start a fuss, I like to finish it. Not that your assistant isn't welcome. Quadiv, get Idaman and his mother to the shore. Carefully. So it comes to this. I must say, after 2 years under the heel of these zealots, I'm ready to extract a little blood.
Sounds good to me. Alright, where are they? Are they anywhere?
Some traps would be nice.
Oh, traps. I guess I can do traps. Alright, let's see. Traps. It's the long blast sling. Which one was the trap one? I don't really use traps all that often. Tripcaster, that was it. Well, I guess I can make an exception.
Shall we prepare a little surprise for them?
Sure, let's.
Are you sure you don't have any traps of interest?
Working on it.
Take cover up there, behind that rock.
Behind what rock? Are they coming? Because I don't see them.
Here they are. Let's make it hurt, shall we?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Company!
More of the bastards. Get ready. Say goodnight, little ones.
Let's get this over with.
Resistance, stay still.
You will not escape.
Well now, seems I worked up a bit of a sweat.
Yeah, it's too much fun. Let's keep doing the traps. Oh, wait. Was that it? They sent... That's it. They sent like 6 people and a couple of robots? Wow, that's pretty crap.
I don't want to jinx it, but we might be in the clear. A bit late, aren't we, gentlemen?
Sorry, ma'am. The boat's waiting.
Damn, I spoke too soon.
This one's mine. Get to the boat.
You know, this time I think I might be out of my league. If anything happens to her, I will be very cross.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh, that's not a good thing. Is that a... Yeah, that is. Okay. Ooh, what's all this then? Why does it take so long to... Yep, that's a Thunderjaw, because of course it is.
Introduced.
Hello. That'll do it. One Thunderjaw down. I don't think my friend survived, which was a bit unfortunate. Can I? Yes, I can. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think those were the two that were trying to help me. Sorry, guys. You kind of got in the way of it. Kind of surprised, really. It's all like, oh, play some traps, you know, trap up the area a lot, and in the end, barely needed it at all. Oh well. Right, let me go back and put... Technically, it's a little better when taking down bigger machines. Although Thunderjaws I actually find quite easy. You just take off its own guns and then use them against it. So I actually quite like that.
Not exactly a royal barge, is it? Oh well, defectors can't be choosers. Let's get aboard, shall we?
You know, I'd be a little more wary taking a boat across this particular piece of water because there happens to be a lot of snap maws in it, as I know from personal experience. Also, you might want to get them out the fancy clothes. Just saying. Put them in a box, maybe.
You've done a good thing. Maybe even ended a war.
Maybe. But my war just keeps going.
I don't know why this has to feel so climactic. It's just a couple of side quests. It wasn't like there was a big build-up to this.
Edelman, my brother, welcome home. You have nothing to fear. You are now under the protection of the Sundom. My protection. As is your mother, she will not be harmed. You have my word, the law of the sun. Aloy, it seems I see your influence everywhere. You've done so much for the Sundom, and it will always be appreciated. You have my thanks. May you walk in the light.
Appalling. I spent 2 years in the Forbidden West setting this up, and the redhead gets all the credit?
I'm still getting paid, right?
You'll be lucky if I let you live. I couldn't have done this without you. When we meet again, I'll give you a proper thanks. I promise.
Alright. Very nice. Another quest over and done with. That's it? 9,330 experience for that? That's barely anything. I got a skill point out of it though, so I suppose it's not nothing. It is something indeed. Okay, so that's that. Yet another side quest crossed off. Alright, so let's get inside this ruin.
This isn't
the balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
Come on, down the road.
Other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
Wait, oh, is this actually, like, end of game thing? No, that can't be right. What about this place? I haven't explored, where is it? This cave. What about that? That can't be right. Hang on. Is this actually the point of no return? What's the name of the quest? Let me look this up real quick, because if this is the end, then I may actually just finish off and try to wrap up the little things I've got left. If it's not, and this is just a long sequence before the end, so it's like Deep Secrets of the Earth. Is this actually the point of no return? Hang on a second. Let me look this up. Was it Secrets of the Earth? Oh, it might actually be. Oh, I didn't realize we were creeping up on the end of the game. Hang on a second. Right. Okay, so it's not as though the game just sort of stops after this. It's more so over the case of you're on a set path for a long period of time and you can't get out of it. That's what it is. So it's not the point of no return, it's the point of not being able to do anything else for a long time. I mean, in terms of quests, what do we got? We got the Ancient Armory one. Got Out of the Forge. That's killing the thingamajiggies. That's long-winded. We got that one in the hunting grounds, which I didn't quite polish off. Because that's annoying as fuck. And that's it, really. And a couple of tutorials that I never quite polished off. Okay, so I guess we can just go in there and do that. I'm not really sure. I thought that there would be a main quest that would take me into this place. But I guess not? I don't know. Hang on a sec. What was the name of that quest? Ancient Armory. Let me see now. Okay, so yeah, there is actually plenty. So yeah, technically I wouldn't be able to... I'd have to complete the game in order to get that last power cell. That's kind of annoying. I'd have liked that to have been a... something I could take into the final confrontation. Guess not, in that regard. Oh well. In that case, let's just do it. Because it looks like there's stuff that happens like after the end anyway, so... yeah, let's just do this. Might as well. Still got half an hour left for today anyway, so it's not really a point of no return.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Seems likely.
For identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated. I think by now
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Okay.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Another incident. Someone who's unfortunately interesting with Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate the Zero Dawn is a immensely complicated project, but as staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we already requested, we need human translators, fluent in Polish, for example, security staff, and dermal sedatives. Almost fair enough, so they were having trouble with someone. Makes sense. We need support too. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates, Zero Dawn candidates, when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused, some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. Langbots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. So yeah, I think with Zero Dawn, people were literally just plucked out of their lives and like, yeah, world's ending, you're gonna work on this now.
Wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Soundproofing. Lounge staff admin soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting in the lounge. Just a thought. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Restock or else. 5th time, please restock the lounge selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead through a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage variants, I'm going to lose it. Please respond at this time. No tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes. Fair enough. What's through here, if anything? Oh, nothing around. Well, that's a shame. Yoink.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
ZD Dawn data intact. Initiating playback.
Info time. Ooh.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret super-weapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a super-weapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down, the entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
Huh.
That doesn't make sense.
The bad news. Yeah, okay.
Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
Makes sense. Alright. Ooh, this place is actually kind of big.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
I pressed the wrong button.
She's still here? I'm done. I'm gonna die. Let this die.
We're too close to the tribal primitive to stop us now. The data points, what did they contain?
Let's find out.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Hmm.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Counselor guidelines. Candidate has time alone to review supplementary information. Yeah, so they were basically brought in, told the bad news, and then given immediate counseling. Makes sense.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people, they feed off them?
Not just people, all organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pate wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Yeah, I can't imagine everybody would take it well.
Want to discuss?
Oof. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, it was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place? You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
What a creep.
Who previously worked for Faro Automated Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since,
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work, man. I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but to really sell a concept and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
There is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things? I know that there's already a lot to take in. In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible, but it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die? We're going to be able to answer some of these questions. I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me. You were brought here because of your skill set. No, that can't be right. I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Yeah, that is weird. Like, really weird.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Oh, here we go again.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all.
Hephaestus.
And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them,
That looks
shutting
familiar.
down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes, by a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
And Hephaestus, taking over Cyan. I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Wow, you know, I feel like I chose the exact right point to play the Frozen Wilds DLC, because, wow, okay, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I did sort of suspect that. There was no direct evidence of it, but it was sort of a, maybe that's the direction the story's going to go, where the robots aren't really bad. Like, the robots look the way they do because they were specifically designed to replace the biosphere. So the idea of the Gaia program was that Gaia would be left to work out the kill command for the evil robots. Presumably, it eventually did that. You know, it would, you know, take a couple of 100 years or however long it would take, find the kill command, shut down all of the Pharaoh robots. That succeeded. By that point, Earth was a dead husk. But then the Gaia project created the machines that reseeded life. That whole project went along. Something went wrong along the path, though. Humans were brought back, but never given the intelligence. Something went wrong with Apollo. That was the missing link. Make your selection. Hang on 1 second, just cross that off. Now proceeding regarding the true nature of the property Zero Dawn. Classify far above top secret. So yeah, participation, infinite detention should you choose to decline the participation. You get 48 hours to reconsider, which will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your terms of confinement as comfortable as possible. You're not permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to Pharaoh plague is inevitable. Medical euthanasia. Wow, so it was join us or die, basically. Which, yeah, okay, that makes a certain kind of sense, I guess. Harsh, but considering what they had to do. Council So guidelines. Going to make a question the fairness of their selection. Yeah, pretty much. I can imagine that a lot of people would be all like, yeah, just let me die. I prefer that. Okay, so it looks like we're going up this way.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
I can imagine that.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
Yeah, pretty much. It's the sort of reactions I would expect from a lot of people, all things considered. Some accepting, some just wanting out, and some not willing to play ball at all. Ooh, stranded jackals. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's important. I do feel like a lot of pieces have now fallen into place. Now that we know what Zero Dawn is, you know, the idea of regenerating a dead biosphere from nothing seems extremely ambitious, but I suppose not beyond the bounds of reason. Okay. I was going to jump over that. Then I was like, okay, well, let's just jump over to the other side. But
Intruder! No. Get her!
Oh.
Whatever you do, don't die now.
God damn it. You want to come and get it? Oh. Hello. There's one of them.
I've done this before. Just you're my focus.
All right. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to stop it there. But yeah, that's a big info drop there on what exactly Zero Dawn is and what their plan was. So yeah, I can see the chain of events in my head. You know, you had the Pharaoh robots destroying the Earth, so they make the you had the Gaia program with Gaia set to crack the Pharaoh code and then shut them down, which they obviously did. Then you had which is that tower, that big ass tower that I kept pointing out. I was like, ooh, what's this thing? That's probably important. Yeah, turns out that was what sent out the signal. That was a great touch, by the way. I love the fact that they included that. So obviously, I'm assuming Gaia is under there or near there or something like that, presumably. And you've got let's see, you've got all the different like AIs that had all the different jobs. Interesting that Hephaestus was in there somewhere, and obviously you had Hades is also a part of this. So like something somewhere along the lines. My guess is that these robots had self-determination, and ultimately some of them rebelled against the Gaia project, and so you ended up with essentially a war between these two opposing factions of AI, some of whom maybe just decided, hey, humanity fucked us over in the first place, screw them. Like maybe Apollo also, you know, went against the grain in that way. And so you got like Hephaestus, Hades, and Apollo turned against it. But obviously some of them did do it because there's plant life and grass. There's like, you know, normal animals still running around. Some of them anyway, you know, because not all species are clearly alive. You've got the robots are still doing their jobs, but obviously like the robots are also attacking people as well. So maybe it's that like robots were supposed to be shut down and they weren't, because the AI responsible for that may well have been destroyed. So yeah, I can sort of see a sequence of events, still some gaps, but yeah, big info drops. Totally get that now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes moving forward. Thank you all for watching, everybody. I do hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you all whenever I next see you. Take care out there, everybody. Bye-bye.